Díomh agus fáilte. So looking up at the header, you'll see Luireach, Padraig, the lorica or breastplate of St. Patrick. Now, what's a lorica? That's the body armour worn by Roman soldiers in battle. Now, in the Christian tradition, a lorica describes a prayer written to provide protection in spiritual warfare. And there's a lot of that going on. The lorica or breastplate of St. Patrick is ascribed to St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, and the version given here is taken from the old tradition. Now you will see that there are two forms of the name Padraig in the title of this composition. One is lenited, the other is not. The spoken language was uncommon to lenite the names of saints in the genitive case. Okay. Now in modern Irish, names are lenited, so I give both versions. Now, this prayer is a very rich resource for learners of the Irish language. It contains prepositions, prepositional pronouns, compound prepositions, verb and noun phrases, and different forms of verbs and nouns. Now, the following notes I'm going to give you will explain some of the more important points of this grammar. It is really a truly remarkable piece of a composition for those who are going to learn the language. It's tremendously beneficial. All right. Now, one of the things you're going to come across here is this Ermaloiv yesh, which means on my right hand. Now, lov is the Irish word for hand, and das is the Irish word for right. So, on lov, yas is actually the right hand. Now, the form you have in this prayer, well, they're taken from the dative case. Now, the dative case traditionally followed the preposition er. That's why you have the I in here, and that's why das becomes yesh, because it's qualifying a noun in the dative case. Now look at this one here, immolidum, as or when I lay down. Now, immoli, as we know, is in my lying state, or as I lying down. Now, it describes a state of being rather than an action, so it's inactive. You're not doing it. Now, the preposition do makes it active by adding a sense of time when this act takes place, and it is translated as or when in English. This construction with do is called a verb and noun phrase. You're going to come across a lot of examples where do is introduced to create these verb and noun phrases. Look at our next one, lauren. Okay, there's our diphthong here in the middle, which means speaks. Now, this is the present tense indicative mood of the verb lauid, which means speak. Now, in standard Irish, the present tense form is laurian. The form given here is from Munster Irish. It's the one I know. And the unsound, this is the thing to note, added to the verb indicates it's in the present tense. Look at our next example, fechen, which is look. It's the present tense indicative mood of the verb fech. Okay, now the present tense is formed by adding unsound. And the spelling A-N-N is used because the final consonant is broad, as you can see. Okay, and finally, we have eishten, listens. Same thing, we're talking about the present tense indicative mood of the verb eish, which means listen. The present tense is formed by adding an unsound, as I just told you, but it's E-A-N-N this time because the final consonant is slender. So you can see up here, I-S-T, that double consonant is slender. And again, we're back to our dative, kluash. Now, kluas is actually the noun, but again, you have the preposition e, here, so it goes into the dative case. Okay, I hope that answers some grammatical points you may have had. So, best of luck with it, and good night, live. Good to meet him,